Welcome everyone to Women in Podcasting Power Networking for Podcasters. My name is Francie and I am originally from Puerto Rico, but I live in Kansas. I am the host of Life with Francie podcast, a safe place to have conversations about mental health, self-care, self-love, hobbies, and more. You can find my podcast in all the major platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. You get it. I will have the link, my Linktree profile in the chat for you guys if you want to check it out or keep in touch with me. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Thank you so much for being here. I am excited to be networking with all of you. You will get a chance to introduce yourself and your podcast or expertise shortly. Because we have a big group, as you see, I'm still adding people. There's more people coming in. So I asked just to keep it short and sweet. If you haven't done so already, join us in Women in Podcasting Facebook community, as well as LinkedIn community. And you can find that at womeninpodcasting.groups. If you like to get tips on how to start a podcast, growing or monetizing your show, check out the womeninpodcasting.show. If you like information about VIP perks and becoming a member of the Women in Podcasting Network, you have to visit womeninpodcasting.net. Last but not least, if you like more of help on monetizing your podcast, join us in the Elevating You Mastermind. You can get in right now. And as a bonus, you get a one-on-one with Jennifer Hensel if you use my link, womeninpodcasting.net /Francie. So as you guys come in and introduce yourself, I will be working on the chat to put all the links and anything else that you guys need. Let me see. I'm going to start with Jeannie. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, I have to. That's fine. I will get you next. Hi, Jeannie Sullivan. Are you a podcaster or sharing your expertise?
I'm sharing my expertise.
Okay, there you go. Let's get to it.
Okay, my name is Jeannie Sullivan, and my business is called Heartfelt Energies, and I am a dynamic psychic reader or psychic intuitive, and I also do really profound energy work that kind of feels like having a massage for your soul. I host and coordinate workshops, retreats, and classes, and I am located in Maine, and my expertise would certainly be spirituality, metaphysics, tarot, and mindfulness.
Awesome. Thank you. You can put your information in the chat for other ones if they want to go and check your website or your programs.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Now, Genie Doherty. I can't say that one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Doherty. Hi,
Okay.
I'm Jeannie, and I'm a certified money coach and a mental fitness coach. And my expertise is helping people who are stuck maybe with their finances or trying to up level. And I work with an app to help retrain their brains, their money brains.
Awesome. Thank you so much as well. Put your information in the chat. We are going to go with Kashina Gosling.
Hi, my name is Genie Gosling. I help expert coaches build online courses. I would like to be a podcast guest. I've guested a couple times last year, and I'm just getting into it again this year. I can obviously talk about business and entrepreneurship, but one of the things I love to talk about is what I call the expert's dilemma. It's all of the ways that high achievers get in the way of building out a body of work, and it tends to be a little bit more on the mental health side. So perfectionism, imposter syndrome, all of these things that I personally, as a high achiever, have struggled with in order to get to where I am in life. So I think it's all about humanizing the journey so that we don't always look at people from their Instagram selfies and think everybody else has it figured out.
Awesome. I love that. Shannon Peel.
Hello, I'm Shannon Peel. I have a company called Market Appeal, and I help you define what you want to be known for and then get you known for it. I have a podcast called Miranda Peel.
Great. I am putting people on mute. Okay. Elaine? Did I say it right?
It's Elaine. My name is Elaine Carter.
Elaine.
And thank you for having me on here today. I am a life coach based in British Columbia, Canada. And I specialize in relationships because I believe relationships are the foundation of success in all areas of your life. I've been very happily married for 44 years, and I love doing life with my husband. And we have instilled a culture of honor in staff and in our kids for years already, designing them to prosper in all areas of their lives, because that foundation, you have a good relationship with those that you live with your family, you can prosper. So did you know that there is a destiny waiting for each one of you? It is because of our honor for each other that I use the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding I have gained in my life experiences, and I coach people and I empower women especially. And what I do is I teach them those unforced rhythms of grace, those rhythms that are deep within them. I bring them out, I draw them out, and I launch them into most powerful relationships that will open doors to incredible opportunities. And so I really believe that there's a destiny for each one of us. And I get really excited when I talk to women and draw them out from what is inside and help them to have healthy relationships. So again, Elaine Carter, and my website, www.elainecarter.ca. And I'd love to be on a podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to go with Danielle Connolly.
Hi, my name's Danielle, and I'm the producer and do the behind the scenes stuff with a podcast called Travel with Meditation. The host is my friend who's been teaching yoga and guided meditation for over 20 years. So it's really good for beginners and those who've been doing it for a while that just want something different out of meditation. So each episode, which launches every other Wednesday, we go to a different location, whether it's in pop culture, a touristy place, or a hidden gem, and then we weave in different guided meditation techniques. So it's on all major podcast networks and YouTube, and then I'll put the website below. And we're also open to being a guest on a podcast, talking about meditation, its benefits, how each of us got into it, and talking about our podcast. So thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you for your time. Candace?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
You're fine.
Wait, hold on a second. Okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm Candace, and we're longtime besties as well as aunt and niece. And through a series of strange and magical events, we both found ourselves going through what we now know is a spiritual awakening.
Yeah. Lost and incredibly confused, we searched for answers to explain the strange things that we were experiencing, like why I suddenly was seeing auras around people
And why I was having memories that were not mine.
But who could explain all of those strange experiences? Who could we turn to? So years of books and explorations later, we have found so much beauty in our awakenings. And through the wisdom of our experiences and our intuitive gifts, we offer a loving space for guidance and support to a community of magical thinkers, sensitives, and spiritual seekers.
So join us as we dive deep into these conversations about awakening, psychic gifts, channeled messages, and so much more. Every week at Awakening Souls, podcasts Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Great, thank you. I love that. Let's go to Marcy Melstler. Dios mío, I am horrible with last names.
No, it's all good. Hello, everybody. My name is Marcy from wavesofcommunication.com, and you can see me doing with this hand because it is waves like the ocean. I talk to parents of children who are not talking yet. I equip and empower them. It doesn't matter why their kids are late talking. I empower them to find the root cause and find spoken language through connection. So I'm excited to connect with some of you spiritual folks out there because I believe that these parents were given the gift of having a child who's not talking to teach them how to tap into their intuitive gifts. So I'm looking to have maybe some of you guys as guests on my podcast. I am a host, but I also want to be a guest on other podcasts to share this intuitive parent connection and how powerful it is to equip and empower spoken language. Waves of Communication. I'm on YouTube and all across on a language facilitation helpline podcast.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Maria Thomas.
Hi, ladies. I'm Maria Tomas Keegan. I'm a career and life coach, and I would love to be a guest. And I also have a podcast, so I'm looking for guests. We're going into our 6th season of the podcast called Tips for the Transition, the Career Roadmap. We have inspiring conversations about career and life, harmony and balance, leadership and growth. And we are currently live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube weekly, plus all the audio podcast channels, wherever you find your Apple, Spotify, Google. We've named them all here already. On November 2nd, we'll be launching season 6 with our 200th episode, and we are broadening our scope, and we will be live on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and the like.
Awesome, thank you.
And my chat has been disabled. Has anybody else?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm sorry for that. I don't know if there's anything I can do right now. I will check while the next person goes. It's my first time hosting so many people, so I don't know if it's because there's too many or what is happening, but I'll check into that. Thank you for pointing it out though.
Sure. So unable to leave any contact information for anybody.
Okay. Carla?
Yeah, hi. My name is Carla Bradley. I am the host of the future podcast, Ode People Wisdom, which is for anyone who's looking to level up their lives. I am nowhere yet. I'm brand new and just recorded a few episodes when chat's, well, it looks like chat's enabled now. So I'll leave my link tree there, but I'll be on YouTube and a podcast as well.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, me clicking and clicking stuff. I clicked something and I'm so sorry for that. Okay, let's go to Penny.
Hi guys, my name is Penny Phoenix and I am the founder of the Phoenix Alliance VA agency. I help mostly single moms at home up-level their skills and create VA teams to support entrepreneurs like everybody in this room. We do podcasting, we do social media stuff, we do admin. And the idea is that you, the entrepreneur, has a seamless experience of not needing to delegate because you're delegating to a team that has a leader that deeply understands your business. And the VAs themselves don't have to pay for training. It's open to anybody that is available. And so we're hoping to help lift women into a place of financial security while also serving the needs of the entrepreneur community.
Awesome. Thank you. I just love the energy and learning about your guys' podcast or expertise. Um, but let me remind you guys, if you want to join us in the Women in Podcasting community, do that by going to womaninpodcasting.group for tips on starting, growing, and monetizing your podcast. Check out the womaninpodcasting.show. And if you like help with if you like help with monetizing your podcast, join us in the Elevating You Mastermind as a bonus. For using my link, you will get a complimentary one-on-one with Jennifer, and that will be at womaninpodcasting.net. Now, let's keep meeting you. Miranda?
Hello, my name is Miranda. So I'm a former TV news reporter. I actually just quit my job. I started a podcast a couple weeks ago called Plot Twist. So basically, it's an interview style podcast where I interview people about their real life plot twists. So big changes they've made in their life, intentional or unintentional. And the stories are meant to be inspirational to motivate people to live life to the fullest. So I was inspired to do this because I thought I was going to be a TV news reporter my whole life, wanted to do it since I was in second grade, realized that it wasn't for me, but I kept going because I had invested so much time into it. And then I finally left, and now I'm in school communications, and it was the best change I ever made. And I can't believe that I was scared to make the change. So I'm hoping to just inspire people to make their own big changes, because oftentimes we get stuck in our comfort zones. So I would love to have people on the podcast who have stories like that. And then I'd also love to be a guest on other people's podcasts, kind of sharing my story.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Shannon Peel?
You already
did? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm the one with all the peels. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Isabel?
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Isabel Banner. Sorry, I just went through a divorce and I just did a slip there. I am legally now Isabel Ann Alexander. I'm a serial entrepreneur, award-winning, a published author. I'm a one and almost two-time podcaster, a transformational catalyst, and your next business strategist. My first podcast launched in 2021. We now have 46 episodes, and I'm really thrilled with the thousands of downloads that we get. It's about how we should continue to evolve and grow and become our best selves so that we can build our own success ladders and therefore empower others to build their own. So that's the Lift As You Climb podcast, and I'm looking to interview women and men, but mostly women, is geared to women who have a really empowering story about how they were lifted or they lift someone else and empower success. My second podcast is the Gray Divorce Podcast, and that will launch next month. And it's my life story and that of millions of baby boomers that are reinventing their lives, starting an encore, transforming after late life divorce, looking again to interview people with stories about how to live your best life after a relationship loss. And I promise you, I am a very fun, entertaining guest for most podcasts. So I'd love to be connected to you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. Kelly?
Yes, that's me. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. As a result of listening to my Wake Up with Yogi Shorts podcast and my caregiver workshop, family caregivers are able to regain control of their schedule. They're able to find more peace and calm in their day while caring for their loved one with dementia without the guilt and regrets. I'm looking for family caregivers who are ready to break the cycle of reactivity and to restore sanity, as well as to stop worrying so they can start living again. So my podcast, I'm looking for also caregivers who've had experience with giving care to members of their family who has had dementia, and just to share their experience. And we can in turn relay that knowledge and tips, right? I'm also looking to be on another podcast if someone wants to hear about the 6 tips to survive the family caregiving journey. All right, thanks for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Stephanie?
Hey, everybody. How are you? I am Stephanie Viva. I do a morning show called The First Shot Morning Show. Actually, we'll start before we even started this. I have been in radio broadcasting for 25 years. I was laid off at the beginning of the pandemic. I work for iHeart, and they stole my podcast from me and killed it. So, because I was under contract. So, at first I replaced my radio job. So I built my own radio studio and started doing digital radio station. Now I'm self-syndicated and back on the air in this market and several others. I'm on Cape Cod. And I am teaching podcasting at the local community college, but also I just love women's stories, bounce back stories. Miranda, you so resonated with me because it was like, I've done this forever. Now, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'll just make my own. So that's what I did. And I've got a podcast directory where I share other pods. I guest pods. I hook people up with all different ways to get different entrepreneurs and whatever line of your stuff is. We also do a lot of cannabis stuff because it cannot be on regular radio. So if you're looking to guest, or if you're looking to showcase what you've got, or you want to come on the air with me on the radio, we've got that possibility too. I'm just here to connect and share and learn, because honestly, you're never too old to learn, and I'm always learning, and I feel like I need
Amen to that.
to learn, right? So I'm here to learn, and I hope to connect with all of you. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Margaret, I think I have a picture. Is she here? Okay. Let's see. Kashina?
I already spoke. I can go again.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All right.
Erica?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So hi, I'm Erica. I'm the podcast host of the Take 30 podcast. So most of my episodes, I talk about mental health, and I share a lot of my guest stories, and so that we can break, the stigma surrounding mental health. So that's the whole goal of the podcast. If anyone would be interested in being a guest, I will put down where you can find my podcast in the chat. But you can find my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Pod.
Okay. I'm talking and I can't get myself up from mute. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Michaela?
Hello. So my name's Michaela. I have a podcast called I Deserve It. And I started that podcast because about 2 years ago, I was in a really toxic relationship with my kid's dad. And it ended with him going to jail, and he was dealing with drug abuse and whatever. And so I went to Hawaii to visit a friend, and she introduced me to my soulmate while I was on vacation. And we did a stranger session, photo thing, if you know what that is. Yeah, so a lot of women were like reaching out to me and asking for advice on like how I left the situation and things like that. And so my podcast is really just about like being your best self and just like battling toxicity and like body positivity, basically anything that's gonna like make you feel better about yourself. Because my life has done a complete 360. Like I was in that situation and now I live in Hawaii and I work from home and I literally just work on my podcast and I also run a lifestyle blog. So it's pretty amazing. I can put all of my information and stuff in the chat, but my website is ideserveitpodcast.com and then you'll be able to find everything there. So
I love it. And yes, girl, you do deserve it. So go for it. Okay. Margaret, are you ready this time? I think you're the last one I have right now.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't actually have a podcast. I've just got my business that I'm trying to start, which is designing 1920s and 1960s clothes in African material.
Okay.
I don't actually have a
Awesome.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but this is also for podcast guests, as well. If you would like to be on a podcast, you should share your expertise. So tell us more about your business.
Well, it's not completely started yet, but I've been checking out the materials of fabrics and seeing what works. I've got lots of different ideas, but my sister just got a new kidney on Saturday, so she's still in hospital. So I've been looking after her cat at the moment whilst I'm trying to sort of things. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We will have more events and everything so you can check them out.
Okay.
Let's see. Melanie came to support me, but it's your turn, girl. Tell us what you're all about.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Francie and I are good friends, and I did want to support her because she's been so encouraging to me for the past, I don't know, 4 years or something like that. Anyway, so I'm an accountant by profession. As you can see, I have a messy desk. But my husband and I are co-owners of a retail store here in Kansas City, Missouri. And we just celebrated our 20th anniversary. So we survived COVID, thankfully. And my husband had started working on YouTube. I finally convinced him to go live on Facebook. And so I'm a behind the scenes girl, and he's the knowledge, the reason we're a success. So he started his the YouTube channel. Well, I set it all up because I do everything in the background. He just does the talking because of his knowledge. And he anyway, so our podcast, our YouTube channel started a little over 2 years ago. We built it right before COVID, then COVID hit, so then we didn't do anything with it, and then we got back on it. And on January 1st of this year, we got our 1,000th subscriber and we got monetized. So that was great, and things have improved every month. We did have a short downfall in June because my husband broke his leg in 3 places. So then we started building it back up. So
awesome. So what is the YouTube name?
It's Mark's Backyard Birds, and it's all about feeding birds in your backyard, identifying birds, and things like that. So my husband has studied birds for about 35 years. So, and Francie told me that I could take the voice from his YouTube videos and turn it into a podcast. So maybe after he's healed from his leg, I can do that because I've been a little swamped with things to do, being that he's been out of work for quite a while. So anyway, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, since we have a few minutes, let's see. Does any one of you want to add what opportunities have happened because of your podcast? Marcy?
Yeah, so I've been doing my YouTube channel and podcast for about 5 years now. And as a result of taking my expertise online, I am now not restricted by the license of speech therapy to only work with children in the state where I live. I can help children all over the world. And in fact, I am traveling. That was my dream, is once I started getting these clients all over the world, I'm actually traveling to Australia to visit 5 of the families that I work with. So stick with it. You'll connect with people and then it will improve your life.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. You go, girl. And I'm loving your energy. Anybody else want to share their opportunities?
Well, I have a lesson in getting an opportunity that I shouldn't have taken.
Awesome.
Because back when I started back in the spring, I found Podmatch, which meant I ended up with a ton of people to interview about brand storytelling. So I did 100 podcasts in 100 days. So 1 podcast a day. Yeah, insane. And then at the end, I had the 100 podcasts. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with this? No one can find them. So I created a magazine to organize it all and put all this stuff in it and articles and everything. It's 190 pages. So it's insane. But anyway, during doing 100 podcasts in 100 days, a lot of people were checking out my website and checking out what I did and who I was. And one guy offered me a job for $100,000 US. Now I'm Canadian, so that means, you guessed it, an extra 30%. And I took the job because he was nice and we seemed to get along and everything else. First day in, I had brought someone that they said they had a problem and they needed a solution. So I offered a vendor. And my first minute of my appointment, of my job, was talking with this vendor and him and his second. He was rude and dismissive, wasn't paying attention, asked questions, belittling questions. And I was like, oh, what have I got myself into? I've tried for a month working for this person and yet they yell at me and stuff like that. So what I learned is that, just because you get an opportunity doesn't mean you should always take it. Because as you can imagine, I was trying to please him and work full time while doing 100 podcasts in 100 days. So it was a very difficult time, but not every opportunity that comes your way is worth it. But in that magazine, I did ask that question to a bunch of people and I got a lot of answers for an article in there, because there are a lot of opportunities that podcasting can bring you that haven't, some of them are monetary and some of them aren't. But it was really,
I love
learning.
that too, to bring that, because especially at the beginning, we all think that we have to say yes to everything and anything. But it's good to step back and really consider, is this going to help my mission? Is this going to help my audience? What are the benefits before saying yes? But yeah, I totally get it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, I deserve that. I mean, I took it for the money, not for the job. So kind of like, when your why is wrong, it's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
What Marcy said, if it isn't fun, it isn't fun.
Yep. I love that.
It's the title of my book. It's the title of my book. If it isn't fun, it isn't fun. Teach your child to talk faster than speech therapy, because kids won't do it if it's not fun. But listen, it's true for everybody. It's true for everybody. Like, you deserve to go to Hawaii. If it isn't fun, get the heck out, right? I love it.
Oh,
Marcy,
love it so much.
I needed the opposite of you. My son started talking early, quick, and never shut up.
Well, count your blessings, just like those late talkers. Count your blessings. Literally every situation you get in your life is your opportunity to evolve into the human that you want to be. What we all are doing the same thing, ladies. We're all doing the same
we
thing.
are.
We just are helping people solve problems, and through our expertise to help them solve problems, they're improving their life. So just keep at it. And I can't wait to talk to all of you.
One more. Does anybody else want to share? Okay. Anybody has a favorite podcast that they want to share? Favorite podcast?
Well, we all love our
Like
own.
well, yeah, but we already talked about our own. Like for me, like seriously, no doubt, woman in podcasting. I do YouTube. I watch her stuff on YouTube.
It's always finding the time to really like. I have podcasts in the background because I live alone. So if I don't have podcasts in the background, it gets really quiet and I forget that, there's actually people out there. So that's what I love about podcasts. If I don't want to have an Audible book on, I can have an Audible podcast on. And then, especially if I'm listening to something in my industry, it's like, oh yeah, I got to go do that.
Yep. I do my cleaning and especially at work. One of them is like the Gold Digger podcast by Jenna Kutcher. She does a lot of business behind the scenes, what she does behind the scenes, and she shares tools for mental health. I mean, we're already in the world of podcasting, so we know we have a podcast for everything and anything. A few more minutes. Do you guys want to share anything about yourself, your podcast, or anything else?
So I just shared something in the chat and let me know if you guys don't want to use it, but I've gone to other podcasting mixers, and because we're all dropping our emails and our links and all of those details, if anybody wants to check that Google spreadsheet, just a way that we can all connect. I know that I use my LinkedIn a lot to connect, and it's just a matter of so many of us probably want to follow up that it can just get lost in the chat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that.
So is almost everybody here do a show by themselves, or do you and just rely on guests? Is there any, there's a duo here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that question, Stephanie. Go ahead.
I work with I do a morning show podcast 3 days a week. It's a 30-minute podcast with a millennial. So she comes from like the dating and all the stuff. I don't know. I'm a mom of 5 and I have zero cool things to say about anything. I live in my basement next to my microphone. So I just wonder, how are you guys doing with like scheduling and stuff and finding time to get together? And does anybody use Clean Feed ever? The website Clean Feed for audio? No? Okay. I was just curious how you guys.
No, yeah.
I
love
record everything on video on StreamYard. So my guests are remote because they're all over the world. So then it's a video recording and then the audio is sucked off and put onto podcasts. And the other thing, as far as a tip, I got a tip for everybody. Listen, if you're not doing video, start doing video and shorts. Break your stuff up into little shorts because YouTube loves them. Instagram loves them. These reels, take your stuff, split it up. It is worth your time. I pay somebody to do that for me, and it has immensely helped get new people onto my channel. Is just by just take your long form format and split it up into shorts.
Thank you so much for
Great
that.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
thank
as
you so much for the advice.
Yes.
Mhm.
As for scheduling, for me, I was 6 months on my own. And I was struggling because I was trying to do 2 podcasts on my own as I worked 12 and 14 hours. Not a great plan. So, but then a virtual assistant reached out to me and I took it as I was ready for guests. And now I'm 20 interviews that I have done and like 12 interviews that have gone live already on my podcast. So I switched to guest and to make a system more automatic so I can worry about other stuff is the Calendly app. I don't know if you guys got the scheduling app, and then I post it everywhere that is allowed. So like if they're asking like a woman in podcasting, they have Monday matchup. So I will describe my podcast. And then underneath, if you like to be a guest, there's my Calendly. Well, somebody saw it on Wednesday and they schedule an appointment. So the appointments are coming in. I have it in the description, what I need from them. So I don't do pre-interviews. I don't know if anybody else. That's a good question. Like, do you guys do pre-interviews? Thank you. I think it's a waste of time. I'm sorry.
Like the initial reaction.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
The thing is like,
oh, Shannon,
sorry. Like what you're talking about is like you're getting all these people in, and that's what happened to me in the spring, and why I ended up doing the 100 podcasts in 100 days, because I didn't want to wait 3, 6, 7 months to post an interview. So what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a form, and I put my link in there. So, you're wanting to be a guest. I created a form, and if the person meets certain criteria that are my definite narrow, it automatically then sends them to my thing to set up an appointment. But I still try to get to everyone that has taken the time to fill in the form. It just might not be right away.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, so far I haven't had any problems. That's another way that you can do the scheduling. Then from there, Calendly is automatic with Zoom. So I use Zoom to record my interviews. So then I don't have to worry about the link. And then as we are communicating through email, if I don't see that it's fit or whatever's happening, I just contact them. But so far, I haven't had any problems yet with my guests and scheduling. So anything else that anybody wants to share before we go?
So I wanted to ask any of you guys something. I find my guests on this app called the matchmaker.fm. Have any of you guys heard that?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, sorry, I use that one as well. I find that it's not as like Podmatch is a lot more aggressive with people getting that, but Podmatch, I have found some.
Oh, okay. Because like for my guests and stuff, I've had a lot of people DM me and say that they want to come on the podcast. So I was curious if anybody else have ever heard of that.
Yeah, I use that one too, and it's good. And it's costs a lot less than Podmatch, so you still get them.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I use Podmatch as well. I love it. And it's yes, go ahead, Erica.
Is Podmatch free or do you have to pay? Is there like
They
a small
have
fee?
basic, but they do offer paid membership. You can use their Facebook group is free. But then if you go to their website and want a membership, they start at $6 a month. And then if that's for a host account, if you like a guest account, I'm sorry?
The $6 a month is if you want to be a guest. If you want to be a host.
Oh, well, I started as a host at $6. And now I just upgraded to $30 to have the host and the guest position. But then so now I'm now somebody's interviewing me, but I have done like 20 interviews and most of them come through Podmatch. I would say half and half, Podmatch and Women in Podcasting, because this community is amazing. And Monday Matchup is a great resource. You can just put Monday Matchup and just go back. Sometimes I go to the last month and be like, hey, girl, you still want to be a guest on the podcast? I like to talk to you, And then Wednesday Wins or Saturday Shine. I don't know every single day, but I'm always there commenting. That's for sure. I love Women in Podcasting. So, but no, thank you so much for being here. This was my first time. So I was a little bit nervous and I was like checking that I let everybody in and everybody had their time. So I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your podcast and your expertise. Remember to join our communities using Women in Podcasting, that group, for tips on starting and growing and monetizing your podcast. Check out womeninpodcasting.show. And don't forget, if you would like help on how to monetize your podcast, join us in the Elevating Your Mastermind using my link, Woman in Podcasting / Francie, for bonus session with Jennifer. Thank you again for coming, and watch for more events coming soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye, guys.